Alright, so 1080 is a wrong warp from Fire Temple to Ganon's castle. This trick has a reputation for being a really hard trick. I personally think that it's not, and I'm hoping that this video will help people think otherwise. It's just a really scary trick, especially at the end of the run, so it just takes lots of practice. In this video, I'm going to be using beta practice ROM features to get rid of this block at the entrance to Fire Temple, or the entrance to the boss. This is because in runs this block will be down unless if you come in from a reload, but I have plans to make a custom practice ROM code that will get rid of this block for you so that you won't need to manually erase it, so I'll keep people posted on that. But anyway, to the actual trick. So just like Fire to Forest, you're gonna get OI. In 100% on VC and N64 you will have Furrow's Wind on B, so you will want to do OI with Hookshot. You could do it with Hammer, but then that just means that later you have to quick draw Hookshot so that you can side roll, so I would just use Hookshot. Oh shit. Just like Fire to Forest, you're gonna hold forward, you're gonna target at the same time as usual, and then you're gonna side hop left and side roll, like so. Now this is the angle needed to clip into the wall in front of you, so you're just gonna hold forward, take out Hammer, press A to jump slash when you're pressing against it. You're gonna keep holding forward until you finish the jump slash, and you're gonna hold shield so that once you land, you stay. And then once you land, you're just gonna shield turn right, and then hold left, like this. Hold shield, turn right, don't take a step during the shield turn. There's a backup if you do, but don't. And then after you shield turn right, hold left and wait to get damaged, like so. Once you get damaged like that, you're okay to let go of shield and walk, and once you jump off the sledge, the blue warp is going to carry you up, and you're going to be looking for a specific window to let go of left. So you're holding nothing but left, and you're just going to watch the wall on the right, like so. So this wall on the right, once it disappears, next frame, this is frame 1 that you can let go of left. This frame and 4 after, a total of 5 frames, works for letting go of left. People in the past have said that it was 2, but it is actually 5. It is a pretty big window. So any of these 5 frames you can let go of left, and no matter which frame you let go, it doesn't change how you do the trick. It's just a full 5 frame window. So now next, I'm going to be looking at the tip of the blue warp and Link's left foot, that one that's in front. So as it gets lined up, next frame it's going to be lined up with the front of his foot, if I can pause buffer, and then on the next frame, it's going to be lined up with his heel. This is frame 1 for the trick. So when you get to this frame, you're just going to press target and on pause lag, and you'll end up inside of the door. You're going to ESS turn left, take out hookshot, and hold left while he's in the middle of taking out his hookshot. You can't start holding left too late, because once you take out hookshot, you're looking at the warp. So if you take too long to hold left, it's just going to load the warp. So it has to be as soon as possible. And you're going to keep holding left until you can see the hookshot dot again. That's when you're looking at the inside of the door frame, and it'll look like this. ESS left, hookshot left, looking inside the door. You saw when I did that, Link kind of looked over to his right. I didn't actually look right, it's just the camera is messed up from the blue warp. You're just holding straight left, that's it. So once you're looking inside of the door like this, it's pitch black, so it's really hard to see. So I actually use the door as a cue. This is way too soon. If I cancel the hookshot, you see I can't see the door right now. But if I keep turning left slowly and canceling, you'll see that eventually the door will come into view. Like this. Ideally you look this far originally and you don't have to keep canceling like that, so you'll get a feel for it eventually and be able to do it fast, but you want something like this so you can see the door. So now the goal is to get right next to the loading zone, but don't touch it. So you're gonna hold forward when you can see the door like this. You're gonna inch forward. You can even, if your angle is like this, you can even hold up leftish a little bit to walk against the wall at an angle, but I would be careful just to not touch the loading zone. But the goal is to make the door disappear. like this. Once the door disappears, you're in a good spot where you're right next to the loading zone, which is on your left, but you're not too far away that the trick will fail. So, all you're going to do now is ESS or shield turn to the right, take out your hammer, pause, so I'll do that. And in the unpause lag, you're just going to press hammer and target. This works with Master Sword also in other categories, but in 100% you would have FW on B. So, unpause, hammer, target, and then the trick should work. Like so. And you'll be in Ganon's castle. So if you're too far away from the loading zone, when you try to target and swing hammer, Link will actually swing it and hit the wall and go into the loading zone really early. So if this is happening, you just need to pay closer attention to where you line up after the hook shot. It would look like this. It's also possible to be closer to the loading zone to the point where Link doesn't swing. He does the normal entrance, but you still go in too early. I'll show what that looks like in a clip. Okay. It looks like that. So if that's happening, you're closer, but not enough to where you need to be. It seems like it'd be really hard to line up properly, but if you use the door cue that I mentioned, it works. Next is frame 2. For frame 2 there is an adjustment that you can do. So I'm on frame 1 right now. And this frame, a cue you can use is that the blue warp is like pointing at the middle of Link, like Link's crotch. So when you press target, this time you're more parallel with the door. And there's a pretty easy adjustment. I'm going to show Pit's frame 2 adjustment. Alien does have one that involves a dry roll. I think it is faster, but I personally don't prefer it. But I'm going to put it in the description so that you can try it, because it is faster. Anyway, for Pit's adjustment, you're just going to hold forward and target the wall in front. Backwalk, turn around and target the wall. And now from here it is exactly the same as frame 1. All that does is when you target and turn around, it loads the warp for 1 frame to put the timer where it should be to do the frame 1 adjustment. So you can just continue as normal. Look for the door. And go. Alright, so a backup if you take a step while shield turning like this is that you can just run off and void out. I would take out hookshot, press target to avoid loading the warp, but you will eventually void out, and I'm using the practice ROM, so I spawned right here, but you would spawn in the front, and from here you would be able to do a backup OI position and go from there. One thing to note though is that the block will be here after you do that, so it is definitely worth learning how to do this with the block in the way so that you can't see the warp. At the time of making this video, I do not know of a setup to fix getting fish trolled other than the one from initial position, which I will link in the description by the way. I've heard that there is one involving grabbing the ladder. I know Neko has one, but for some reason it doesn't work with 1080. Your angle is slightly different with that one. So I will ask around, and if there is a setup already that exists, I will link it in the description. So another backup, is if you go too far on the target frame. Right now I'm on 2, but say if I go too far on accident, what you can do is press target and hookshot again so that you aren't looking at the warp and you'll just fall down and void out. And then once you respawn, you can just do the backup OI position and try again. Again, I'm using the practice ROM, so I spawned over here, but you would spawn right over here. To finish off the video, I'm going to show both frame 1 and 2 of the trick without saying much, just all in one go, so that you can see what it looks like. It's a little slow. Like I said, ideally you want to turn more left so that you don't have to inch forward like that to see the door. And frame 2. So again, a little slow. You can see that with that frame, holding forward makes you like walk against the wall really slowly. So you do want to kind of inch up left-ish, very slightly out of the notch, so that you move left quicker. And yeah, that's everything. Like I said at the start of this video, I think that this trick's difficulty is blown out of proportion just a little, but in comparison to other wrong warps and cutscene skips, it is pretty tricky. If there are any questions that you have, feel free to ask me in the Discord, and I will help to the best of my ability, and I hope that this video was helpful.